Hello, you're listening to the Retrospection section, where we review horrible writing we were once proud of. I'm Max.
I'm Rava.
And we love to make fun of ourselves. It's important to learn from our mistakes. It's also important to shamelessly berate your younger self for writing really awful things. Today's podcast will consist of a reading of the worst/funniest parts of The Disorder Division, a book Max started in 8th grade when they were 13. The draft we'll be reading is from when they were 15 because the first draft had a bunch of chapters written by other people who Max lovingly called co-writers. The Disorder Division follows a group of teenagers called the Dizzos who find out that they are robots created by a malevolent cybernetics company called, you guessed it, the Disorder Division. The characters' names are Lucy, Tuesday, Tylynn, Brighton, Talent, Joe, Nick/Cal, Cinder, Shade, and Dr. Wright. Sit back, relax, and cringe with us. Okay, so first line we're gonna look at.
I'm so excited. I think I know what it is too.
I nervously fingered the scar above my left ear.
I was right!
We're talking about doing a count of how many times the word fingered was used. I didn't know that had any other connotation when I was 15 because I was an innocent child. Second line. The only thing I could think of to say was, ow, that's my arm flab. She's getting kidnapped by the people from the malevolent company, and all she can say is, ow, that's my arm flab. Chapter 2, this is the third line we're gonna read, and it's more like a, it's actually like part of a scene, and it's by Tuesday,
It's
one of the
an
other
excerpt.
characters. It's an excerpt, yes. You see, I'm not like everyone else. I'm what you call different. No, wait. I'm more than different because I can make different people seem normal. No, wait. Scratch that. I can make boys look normal. And I have a brother that is nothing like me. That dirty little 17-year-old still lives with his mommy piggy scumball. I hate him. He is just a no-good... Sorry, I was losing my calm. Anyways. I walked into my brother's room and immediately started straightening things up. I hate it when things are messy or crooked or spelled wrong. Aside, that is actually a part of the story. They're robots designed to clean things, so they have impulses to, clean everything. I finished folding my clothes very neatly and sighed. Grabbing a feather duster from the laundry room, I stomped into my brother's lair. He sat on his bed playing Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi on his acoustic. It's okay, freak, my brother snapped. I didn't call you to clean. Then what did you call me for? I rolled my eyes. Drake's taunting smile disappeared. In a couple hours, some men are gonna show up here and try to kidnap you. You should leave right now if you know what's good for you. I scoffed. Is this a joke? Drake shook his head. No, freak. This is important. I could feel the worry lines already creasing my forehead, and a big sigh made its way out of Drake's mouth. Never mind, freak. You're too young anyway, stupid. Now get out. Beep, beep, beep. Aside. Their heads beep when they're given an order. After that, I snuck into his room when he wasn't there and messed it up. I cleaned it later. And I yelled a bunch of things. I think dirty little 17-year-old still lives with his mommy piggy scumball was one of them.
Why does he know that? Is that of her dress why he knows people are gonna come?
I think he knows that she's a robot, but that's all I can say.
But why does he know if she doesn't know?
I don't know.
Do the parents know?
The parents know. The parents are in on it.
When did he find out?
I'm not sure.
Did they, tell him from birth? How you're supposed to... how do you teach a kid their name? You just use it from birth? Did they just be like,
your sister's a robot.
Hi, Drake. How are you today, sweetie? Did you eat your cereal? Your sister's a robot.
I have no idea. Okay, next little tidbit that we're gonna read, is by Tylynn. Tylynn was also, this is I think also written by one of my co-authors. There were 3 of them. Special little aside here, Tylynn used to have a major growing disease.
Oh, that's actually my favorite part in this entire book. I'm so sad it's gone.
She used to have a major growing disease, and by major growing disease, I mean that she would randomly shrink and grow at random intervals. Sometimes when she woke up, she'd be a different size, and in the original draft, she literally said, she was like, I woke up and I was smaller, but don't worry, I have a major growing disease, so this is normal. When I woke up, my bed seemed quite uncomfortable. I rolled over, trying to find a more comfy position. I couldn't. My bed had turned to concrete. I opened my eyes and sat up. What the? I was on the roof, cleaning the sunroof. Had I sleepwalked up here? And why was I cleaning it? Not that I didn't clean all the time, but this is especially weird. I looked up at the sky. Must organize stars! Must clean world! So apparently I think this is very unclear what happens right now, but the Dizzos are malfunctioning. So they, like, have to clean everything.
No.
Oh, wait, there's more?
You missed the best part.
Then the leader guy zapped me with the knife/gun thing and the world went black. They have this thing called, that nobody knows, like, what it is. None of the Dizzos know what it is, but they just refer to it as the knife/gun thing. And I'll get to the part where you actually find out what it's called, because it'll blow your mind. The next excerpt we're going to read is from a Lucy chapter. And you're just gonna, this is what 15-year-old, and yeah, I guess I wrote this part when I was 15. This is what 15-year-old Max thought was good fodder for an argument. You like the Red Sox? I nodded. Yeah? Tuesday smirked again. The Yankees could totally beat the Red Sox with both eyes closed and one hand tied behind their back, and they have. Yeah, well, I can root for whoever I want, I said, slightly insulted. See, that's your problem, Lucy. You're rooting for the underdogs. You don't even know me. Guys, break it up, Cinder said. They're just teams. Tuesday glared at him. He raised his eyebrows. Anyway, Yankees are cooler, I'm just saying, Tuesday declared. You're only saying that because you live in New York, I said. Used to, anyway, Tuesday said bitterly. And you live in dinky little Jackson, California, so you have no rights. Yankees are for classless high school dropouts, I nearly shouted. No, elementary school dropouts. F off, Tuesday yelled and was about to punch me, but Cinder held her back. And then they throw loose. Oh, wait, no, there's more. Why are we stopping? I asked, my arm hurting where I just bashed it against the side of the van. Okay, I skipped a little bit, but anyway. Maybe they saw a homeless former Red Sox player, Tuesday spat.
That doesn't even make sense.
I cried into my hands, despairing. Suddenly, I felt an arm around my shoulders. Well, there was nobody in the van besides Cinder, and I looked up to see none other than him. Whoa, was he just doing this to get me to stop making a complete fool of myself, or did he like me or something? This is a Tuesday chapter. She's tied up with Nick and Joe on the side of the road waiting for another van, and I'm not sure why they took her out and had to transfer her to another van. But anyway, we all sat out there staring into space for who knows how long when Joseph asked me this. Tuesday, have you ever been in love? Because I think I might have been in love once. Joseph, I said in a slow, strange tone. I've never been in love before, and I don't think I ever will be. Nick spoke up. Don't say those words. Ever. Maybe someday you will fall in love. You never know what to expect. That's what Andrew always told me. Nick choked on the last sentence. I could tell fighting back the tears was hard, even for him. He seemed so tough. Thanks, Nick. That's some really good advice, I said, fighting back my own tears. And Joe, I love my family and friends. Does that count? So I'm just gonna leave that there.
What? Oh yeah, is Andrew like their brother or something?
Andrew's their brother who got killed for defending them against the... Oh... I forgot to mention the bad guys' names in this, like the group. So like the good guys are the Dizzos and the bad guys are the Reapers. So if I say Reapers, that's what I'm saying, like Grim Reaper, okay? Just so that we get that cleared up. It's not the other thing that sounds vaguely like Reaper. Tuesday's really edgy, so here we go. People were casting me weird sidelong glances. It was probably just because I was still wearing my torn-up, dirty pajamas and because of my freakish black hair. It's not like I dyed it that color. I couldn't help it. God! Shut up, all of you, I yelled at them. They all made what's her problem faces and went back to whatever they were doing before they saw the weird newcomer. So, edgy Tuesday. They get to the Disorder Division's, like, holding place, which is called the Armory. And the Armory apparently has a library? And I'm gonna read you this little excerpt because
it has everything but an armory in it.
Yeah. I'm gonna read you this section which makes absolutely no sense, and I don't know why. I don't know why it's here. It's by Brighton. This is the first Brighton section I've ever, read in this episode. We spent the rest of the night planning and preparing. We knew we would need money, which Tuesday had. Why does she have money if they're prisoners? We would need cover until we were far enough away from the armory, which Tylin could provide. How? We would need weapons, which William had the skills of making. How do they have skills of making weapons?
And what kind of weapons are we talking? Like sharpened sticks?
Yeah,
I have that skill.
We would need brains, which Lucy had. That's true. I guess she has. I mean, technically,
Is it
not
her last
because
name still Knowledge?
Yes, in this draft, her last name is Knowledge. We would need food, which I could make. We would need sly lookouts, which Cal and Cinder could be. And lastly, we would need computer hacking skills, which, surprisingly enough, Lucy had. More skills than Tuesday, and that's saying something. Tuesday and Joe took turns with me and William researching maps and other such useful items in the library. I was looking through a book on making your own grenades. Yes, I'm a little bit of a pyromaniac. Why do they have this book where they're keeping people prisoner? So, fun fact, here's a little aside. So, Cal is a character that we haven't mentioned up until this point, because up until this point, Nick has existed. Then everybody thinks that Nick has died, and then they get this random new member of the Dizzos whose name is Cal. Remember Nick and Joe being brothers? Joe doesn't recognize Cal, even though all Cal has done to disguise himself is to put gel in his hair. That's like... Fun fact, another word we're going to start counting besides fingered is hobo. Because Tuesday had a habit of calling people hobo as an insult. How's your boyfriend doing, Tylin? Better, Cinder joked. Tylin threw a you hobo look, but didn't say anything else. Okay, I had to stay on topic, and I couldn't think about Joe with his big hazel eyes and his gorgeous black hair, and on topic. Stay focused, Tuesday, and this whole thing will go smoothly, I thought, as I went to my sleeping bag to pick up my belongings, if you could call a wallet, a credit card, a house key, a pack of Uno cards, all of which I'd had in my pockets when I'd been kidnapped, and nobody had bothered to raid my pockets, thankfully, and 3 pairs of clean clothes from my duffel bag, belongings.
Yes, I would call that belongings. That's a lot of items.
Next reading. Okay, head count, said Lucy. Will, Brighton, Joe, Tuesday, Talent, me, Cinder, and Cal. Where's Cal? Suddenly, Cal jumped from behind a bush, holding a bottle of hair gel. Here! By this point, they've escaped, by the way.
That was some A+ foreshadowing,
Yeah.
and I'm proud of young whoever wrote that.
Next one. Hey, I burst out. Not until you tell Lucy your story, you damn hobo! Since Tuesday had no qualms about spending her parents' money, we treated ourselves to dinner at the Rainforest Cafe in Disneyland.
When did they get into Disneyland?
They go to Disneyland, I suppose.
I don't remember this part.
They go in there and then Lucy and Cinder have like a heart-wrenching conversation about his parents being dead.
In the happiest place on Earth?
Yes.
Why? Also, did they buy tickets or did they just
walk in, I guess?
Dude, one does not simply walk into Disneyland.
Okay. Next. This is a Joe chapter, by the way. First Joe chapter. Joe has been kidnapped by Shade, who is the villain. He's a Reaper, and they have captured him, but the others are still free. Anyway, talking hurt my stupid side wound, so I glared at the ginger-haired Reaper mutely. Yeah, continued the guy, drawing out the A, and sorry about your brothers. I tried to lunge at the Reaper, but quickly abandoned that course of action when 1, my stupid side wound seared with pain, causing me to scream again, and 2, I found out I was chained by the wrists to a wall. The Reaper took a step back, looking amused. Actually, I'm kidding. Tuesday isn't dead, and I'm not sorry about Nick and Andrew. I was speechless with anger, but I knew the best thing to do was act like I didn't give a crap. I wiped all my emotion off my face and calmly gazed at the Reaper. The ginger-haired Reaper smiled like a snake would smile. My name is Shade, by the way. Ooh, a shady lady, I spat, keeping my face apathetic. The Reaper named Shade kept on smiling as the other 2 Reapers from before walked in carrying a knife/taser.
Yes!
The blonde Reaper handed Shade the weapon. Shade shoved it into my face, peering up at me from almost 10 inches below me since I was higher on the wall. I was about to be like, whoa, Shade is really short. Nope, he's just like...
Wait, you didn't realize his hands were chained to the wall when he's dangling?
Oh, okay. Do you know what this is? Shade asked. I know it's not fun to have shoved into your side, I replied in a steely voice, trying not to let on how much my side hurt. I felt like I might pass out any second. Shade went on. We call it a neonet, like a bayonet, but way better, and built far more advanced for killing dizzos like you.
That's my favorite.
The neonet.
That's my favorite. That sounds Like a rejected name for the internet?
And that's all we have for today's episode. Tune in next time for part 2 of this odious novel, in which Tuesday gets hit by a car, escapes a hospital, and falls down 3 flights of stairs. The Dissos find a gymnasium full of money, Tylen's major growing problem comes into play, and the worst secretary in the world helps the kids extort an orphanage. Thanks for listening to the Retrospection section. We'll see you next time.